Sarah felt like she was drowning. Not in water, but in worries. Every day felt like a chaotic whirlwind of deadlines, responsibilities, and anxieties. At work, the pressure was immense. Her to-do list seemed to grow longer by the minute. Each task she completed was quickly replaced by two more, creating an endless cycle of stress. The constant barrage of emails, meetings, and urgent requests left her feeling like she was always playing catch-up, never able to get ahead. At home, things weren't any easier. Bills piled up on the kitchen counter, mirroring the growing stack of worries in her mind. The demands of household chores, family responsibilities, and financial pressures weighed heavily on her. It seemed like there was always something that needed her attention, leaving her with little time to relax or unwind. Sarah felt constantly overwhelmed, her mind racing with endless what-ifs and should-haves. She would replay conversations and events in her head, wondering if she had made the right decisions or said the right things. The fear of making mistakes or letting others down consumed her thoughts, adding to her already high levels of stress. Sleep offered little respite, her nights plagued by restless tossing and turning. She would lie awake for hours, her mind unable to shut off, thinking about all the things she needed to do the next day. Even when she did manage to fall asleep, it was often fitful and interrupted, leaving her feeling exhausted and drained in the morning. The weight of it all was suffocating. She was exhausted, yet couldn't seem to relax. Simple joys that once brightened her days, a good book, her favorite music, even spending time with loved ones, now felt distant and unimportant. She found herself withdrawing from social activities and hobbies that she used to enjoy, feeling too overwhelmed and tired to participate. Sarah knew she couldn't continue like this. She was trapped in a cycle of stress and worry, desperately yearning for a way out. She began to realize that she needed to make some changes in her life to regain control and find a sense of balance. It wasn't going to be easy, but she was determined to take the first steps towards a healthier, more manageable lifestyle. She started by seeking support from friends and family, opening up about her struggles and asking for help. She also began to prioritize self-care, setting aside time each day to do something that brought her joy and relaxation. Whether it was reading a book, going for a walk, or simply taking a few moments to breathe deeply, these small acts of self-care made a big difference in her overall well-being. Sarah also made an effort to manage her time more effectively, breaking down her tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks and setting realistic goals for herself. She learned to say no to additional responsibilities that she couldn't handle and to delegate tasks when possible. By doing so, she was able to reduce her workload and create a more balanced schedule. Over time, Sarah began to feel more in control of her life. The constant feeling of being overwhelmed started to fade, and she found herself enjoying the simple pleasures that she had once taken for granted. She still had her moments of stress and worry, but she was better equipped to handle them and to keep them from taking over her life. The journey wasn't easy, and there were times when she felt like giving up. But with each small step she took, she moved closer to a life that felt more balanced and fulfilling. She learned that it was okay to ask for help, to take time for herself, and to let go of the need to be perfect. Sarah's story is a reminder that it's possible to overcome the feeling of being buried under worries. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to make changes, but it's worth it. By prioritizing self-care, seeking support, and managing her time effectively, Sarah was able to reclaim her life and find a sense of peace and balance. If you find yourself feeling overwhelmed by the pressures of daily life, remember that you're not alone. There are steps you can take to reduce your stress and improve your well-being. Start by reaching out to those around you, taking time for yourself, and setting realistic goals. With patience and perseverance, you too can find a way out of the chaos and into a more balanced and fulfilling life. Sarah's journey is a testament to the power of resilience and the importance of self-care. No matter how overwhelming life may seem, there is always hope for a brighter, more balanced future. Take the first step today, and remember that you have the strength to overcome any challenge that comes your way. You are not alone in your struggles, and there is always a way forward. By taking small, manageable steps and seeking support, you can break free from the cycle of stress and worry and create a life that feels more fulfilling and balanced. Remember, it's never too late to make a change and to start prioritizing your well-being. One crisp Saturday morning, Sarah's sister Emily invited her for a hike. Sarah had been feeling overwhelmed lately, with work deadlines piling up and personal issues weighing heavily on her mind. She had barely slept the night before, her thoughts racing and her anxiety at an all-time high. Initially hesitant, Sarah almost declined, buried as she was under her mountain of worries. She felt like she couldn't afford to take a break, that stepping away would only make things worse. But deep down, she knew she needed a change, a moment to breathe. But something about Emily's cheerful insistence convinced her to go. Emily had always been the optimistic one, the one who could find a silver lining in any situation. Her enthusiasm was infectious, and Sarah found herself agreeing, albeit reluctantly. As they started their ascent, surrounded by the vibrant hues of autumn leaves, a sense of tranquility began to wash over Sarah. The crisp air, the rustling of leaves underfoot, and the gentle chirping of birds created a symphony of nature that began to soothe her troubled mind. The rhythmic sound of their footsteps on the trail, the fresh mountain air filling her lungs, the beauty of nature slowly chipped away at the wall of worry she had built around herself. Each step felt like a small victory, a moment of peace reclaiming her from the chaos. Emily, sensing her sister's struggle, shared a story about a time she felt overwhelmed. She spoke of a period in her life when everything seemed to be falling apart, and how she found solace in the simple act of walking in nature. She talked about the importance of letting go, of not carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. Emily's words resonated deeply with Sarah, reminding her that it was okay to take a step back, to breathe, and to find clarity in the midst of chaos. As they reached a scenic viewpoint, the breathtaking landscape stretched out before them. Sarah felt a sense of accomplishment and a newfound clarity. The worries that had seemed so insurmountable now felt manageable, and she realized the power of taking a moment to reconnect with herself and the world around her. Emily paused during their hike, picking up a few small rocks from the trail. She handed them to Sarah. "Here," she said, "hold on to these for me." Sarah, though confused, took the rocks. They continued their hike, the rocks feeling heavier with every step. Finally, Sarah stopped, her arms aching. "Why did you make me carry these rocks, Emily?" she asked, exasperated. Emily smiled gently. "These rocks," she explained, "they represent your worries. Each one you hold on to weighs you down, making it harder to move forward." Emily's words resonated deeply with Sarah. She looked down at the rocks in her hands, finally understanding the burden she had been carrying. They reached a clearing bathed in warm sunlight, offering stunning views of the valley below. "It's time to let go, Sarah," Emily said, her voice filled with quiet strength. Slowly, Sarah opened her hand and let the rocks fall to the ground. She felt a wave of relief wash over her as if a physical weight had been lifted from her shoulders. It was just the beginning, she realized, but in that moment, she understood the power of letting go. Section 5. The fog begins to lift. The hike down felt different, lighter. Sarah was more present, noticing the intricate details of the forest she hadn't seen before. The chirping of birds, the rustling leaves, the sunlight filtering through the trees. It was as if a fog had lifted, allowing her to see the beauty around her once again. That night, Sarah slept soundly for the first time in weeks. The worries hadn't magically disappeared, but she felt a renewed sense of hope. She realized that she had the power to choose what burdens she carried. Section 6. Rediscovering Joy. Inspired by her experience, Sarah started making small changes in her life. She began practicing mindfulness, taking a few moments each day to simply breathe and be present. She prioritized self-care, carving out time for activities she enjoyed but had neglected: reading, listening to music, taking long walks. She also started setting boundaries, both at work and in her personal life. Learning to say no to additional responsibilities that weren't essential allowed her to focus on what truly mattered. Slowly but surely, Sarah felt a shift within herself. The constant tension began to ease, replaced by a sense of calm she hadn't realized she was missing. Section 7. Embrace the freedom. The journey wasn't always easy. There were days when the worries threatened to creep back in, when the weight of her responsibilities felt heavy once more. But Sarah had learned the power of letting go. She knew that holding on to worry and stress wouldn't solve anything. It would only keep her stuck. Instead, she focused on what she could control: her reactions, her thoughts, her actions. She learned to approach challenges with a calmer, more balanced perspective. The joy that had been absent for so long slowly began to return, filling her life with color and light once more. Section 8. Your turn to let go. Letting go of worry and stress is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that requires patience and self-compassion. Each step you take towards releasing your burdens is a step towards a lighter, more peaceful existence. Imagine walking through a serene forest. The the gentle rustling of leaves above you, and the soft crunch of the path beneath your feet. This journey is yours to take, at your own pace, with each breath bringing you closer to tranquility. It takes time, practice, and a willingness to release the burdens that are weighing you down. Picture yourself sitting by a calm lake, the water still and reflective, mirroring the peace you seek within. Meditation and mindfulness can be powerful tools in this journey, helping you to focus on the present moment and let go of the past and future worries. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast, open field. The sky above is clear, and the horizon stretches out endlessly before you. This field represents the limitless possibilities that await you once you let go of what no longer serves you. In your hands you hold a handful of rocks, each one representing a worry, a fear, a stress that you've been carrying. These rocks are heavy, and their weight has been slowing you down, making it difficult to move forward, but you have the power to release them. What would it feel like to finally open your hands and let those rocks go, to watch them fall away, one by one, and feel the lightness that comes with their release? Imagine the sensation of freedom as the weight lifts from your shoulders. To feel the weight lift from your shoulders and the freedom to move forward with ease. This is the moment you've been waiting for, the moment when you can finally breathe deeply and smile, knowing that you are no longer held back by the past. It's time to embrace that freedom. Picture yourself walking freely through a meadow, the grass soft beneath your feet, or dancing in a field, your movements unburdened and joyful. This is the life that awaits you when you let go. Let go of the burdens that are holding you back. Imagine dropping a heavy backpack that you've been carrying for far too long, or releasing a balloon into the sky, watching it float away and disappear. These actions symbolize the release of your worries and fears. You deserve to live a life filled with peace, joy, and lightness. Picture yourself laughing with friends in a park, the sound of your laughter echoing around you, or enjoying a sunset on the beach, the colors of the sky reflecting the beauty of your newfound freedom. It's time to let go. Stand with your arms open wide, embracing the sunset, and take a deep breath, feeling the peace and tranquility that comes with letting go. This is your moment, your turn to let go and embrace the life you deserve.